face just such a change had come. Hitherto, with all her loveliness, the heart of Ayesha had seemed like that winter mountain, wrapped in its unapproachable snow, and before her pure brow and icy self command, aspiration sank abashed and desires died. She swore she loved, and her love fulfilled itself in death and many a mysterious way. Yet it was hard to believe that this passion of hers was more than a spoken part, for how can the star seek the moth, although the moth may seek the star? Though the man may worship the goddess for all her smiles divine, how can the goddess love the man? But now everything was altered. Look, Ayesha grew human. I could see her heart beat beneath her robes and hear her breath come in soft, sweet sobs, while over her upturned face and in her alluring eyes there spread itself that look which is born of love alone. Radiant and more radiant did she seem to grow, sweeter and more sweet, no longer the veiled hermit of the caves, no longer the oracle of the sanctuary, no longer the Valkyrie of the battle plain, but only the loveliest and most happy bride that ever gladdened a husband's eyes. She spoke, and it was of little things, for thus Ayesha proclaimed the conquest of herself. "Fie," she said, showing her white robes torn with spears and stained by the dust and dew of war. "Fie, my lord, what marriage garments are these in which at last I come to thee, who would have been adorned in regal gems and raiment befitting to my state and thine?" "I seek the woman, not her garment," said Leo, his burning eyes fixed upon her face. "Thou seekest the woman. Ah, there it lies. Tell me, Leo, am I woman or spirit? Say that I am woman, for now the prophecy of this dead Atene lies heavy on my soul, Atene who said that mortal and immortal may not mate. Thou must be woman, or thou wouldst not have tormented me as thou hast done these many weeks. I thank thee for the comfort of thy words. Yet was it woman whose breath wrought destruction upon yonder plain? Was it to a woman that blast and lightning bowed and said, 'We are here. Command us, we obey'? Did that dead thing," and she pointed to the shattered door, "break inward at a woman's will? Or could a woman charm this man to stone? Oh Leo, would that I were woman. I tell thee that I'd lay all my grandeur down, a wedding offering at thy feet, could I be sure that for one short year I should be naught but woman and thy happy wife. Thou sayest that I did torment thee, but it is I who have known torment, I who desired to yield and dared not. I tell thee, Leo, were I not sure that thy little stream of life is draining dry into the great ocean of my life, drawn thither as the sea draws its rivers, or as the sun draws mists, e'en now, I would not yield. But I know, for my wisdom tells it me, ere ever we could reach the shores of Libya, the ill work would be done, and thou dead of thine own longing, thou dead and I widowed who never was a wife. Therefore see, like lost Atene, I take the dice and cast them, not knowing how they shall fall, for good or ill I cast," and she made a wild motion of some desperate gamester throwing his last throw. "So," Ayesha went on, "the thing is done and the number summed for, though it be hidden from my sight. I have made an end of doubts and fears, and come death, come life, I'll meet it bravely. Say, how shall we be wed? I have it. Holly here must join our hands. Who else? He that ever was our guide shall give me unto thee, and thee to me. This burning city is our altar. The dead and living are our witnesses on earth and heaven. In place of rites and ceremonials for this first time I lay my lips on thine, and when 'tis done, for music I'll sing thee a nuptial chant of love, such as mortal poet has not written nor have mortal lovers heard. Come, Holly, do now thy part and give this maiden to this man." Like one in a dream I obeyed her and took Ayesha's outstretched hand and Leo's. As I held them thus, I tell the truth, it was as though some fire rushed through my veins from her to him, shaking and shattering me with swift waves of burning and unearthly bliss. With the fire, too, came glorious visions and sounds of mighty music, and a sense as though my brain, filled with overflowing life, must burst asunder beneath its weight. I joined their hands, I know not how. I blessed them, I know not in what words, then I reeled back against the wall and watched. This is what I saw. With an abandonment and a passion so splendid and intense that it seemed more than human, with a murmured cry of "Husband!" Ayesha cast her arms about her lover's neck and drawing down his head to hers so that the gold hair was mingled with her raven locks, she kissed him on the lips. Thus they clung a little while, and as they clung the gentle diadem of light from her brow spread to his brow also, and through the white wrappings of her robe became visible her perfect shape shining with faint fire. With a little happy laugh she left him, saying, "Thus, Leo, oh thus for the second time do I give myself to thee, and with this flesh and spirit all I swore to thee, there in the dim caves of Kôr and here in the palace of Kaloon. Know thou this, come what may, never, never more shall we be separate who are ordained one. Whilst thou livest, I live at thy side, and when thou diest, if die thou must, I'll follow thee through worlds and firmaments, nor shall all the doors of heaven or hell avail against my love. Where thou goest, thither I will go. When thou sleepest, with thee I will sleep, and it is my voice that thou shalt hear, murmuring through the dreams of life and death, my voice that shall summon thee to awaken in the last hour of everlasting dawn, when all this night of misery has furled her wings for aye. Listen now, while I sing to thee, and hear that song aright, for in its melody at length thou shalt learn the truth which unwed I might not tell to thee. Thou shalt learn who and what I am, and who and what thou art, and of the high purposes of our love, and this dead woman's hate, and of all that I have hid from thee in veiled, bewildering words and visions. Listen then, my love and lord, to the burden of the song of fate." She ceased speaking and gazed heavenwards with a rapt look, as though she waited for some inspiration to fall upon her. And never, never, not even in the fires of Kôr, had Ayesha seemed so divine as she did now in this moment of the ripe harvest of her love. My eyes wandered from her to Leo, who stood before her pale and still, still as the death like figure of the Shaman, still as the Khania's icy shape which stared upwards from the ground. What was passing in his mind, I wondered, that he could remain thus insensible while in all her might and awful beauty this proud being worshipped him. "Hark!" she began to sing in a voice so rich and perfect that its honeyed notes seemed to cloy my blood and stop my breath. "The world was not, and in the womb of silence slept the souls of men. Yet I was, and thou—" Suddenly Ayesha stopped, and I felt rather than saw the horror on her face. "Look!"